She was 8 weeks pregnant, sitting beside the man she loved, on live television, and he told the world he did not want her anymore. Not in anger, not in the heat of an argument that had spiraled beyond control. He said it calmly, deliberately, as though he had rehearsed the words in front of a mirror until the edges were smooth enough to deliver without trembling. He sat under studio lights designed for warmth, surrounded by an audience that had come expecting celebration, and he dismantled his marriage like a man reading terms and conditions he had already agreed to in private. She did not scream. She did not cry. She did not beg him to take it back. She stood up from that chair, looked at no one, and walked off the stage in silence. And that silence, that impossible, unbearable silence, was louder than anything he had said. Now let me ask you something before we go any further. Have you ever trusted someone so completely that the idea of them hurting you never even crossed your mind? Not because you were naive, not because you ignored the signs, but because every single thing they had ever done told you they were safe. Hold on to that feeling, because what happens in this story will test everything you believe about love, loyalty, and the people you think you know. But here is what nobody expected, what Tobias did not know, what no one sitting in that studio audience could have predicted. 32 floors above the Harbor District, in an office built for control and silence, a man who had spent decades reshaping industries had just stopped mid-sentence in the middle of a deal worth more than most people would see in a lifetime. He set down a document. He looked at the screen. And for the first time in longer than he could remember, the numbers stopped mattering. Not because of the rejection. He had witnessed betrayal before. He had signed contracts that were born from worse. What stopped him was her. The way she stood, the way she walked, the way she refused to give a single person in that room the satisfaction of watching her fall apart. That is where this story truly begins. If you believe that people who walk away from responsibility should be held accountable, drop a comment right now and tell me. And if this story grips you the way it gripped me when I first heard it, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Because I promise you, this one is going to stay with you long after it ends. Let me take you into that studio. Let me show you exactly what happened the night everything changed. The set was designed to feel intimate. Warm lighting washed across a small stage framed by 2 upholstered chairs angled toward each other, close enough to suggest closeness, but separate enough for the cameras to capture both faces clearly. A low coffee table sat between them, holding 2 glasses of water that no one would touch. Behind the chairs, a soft backdrop glowed in muted gold, and the network logo hovered in the corner of the screen like a quiet witness. The show was called Together, a weekly broadcast that invited couples to share their stories, engagements, reunions, anniversaries, milestones wrapped in music and soft lighting, packaged for an audience that wanted to believe.